My budget came up short this month, and that's been happening consistently for a while, which is part of the reason why I'm in the financial debt that I am now and that I'm trying to get out of. The obvious way to help myself get out of this debt is to increase my income. And there's lots of really great ways for women over 50 to increase their income with different strategies. I looked hard at 8 strategies that I'm going to share with you today and ended up choosing the one that worked best for me. Hi, if you haven't been here before, my name is Karen. I'm a 56-year-old solo Gen X mom that is on my debt repayment journey to pay off just over $95,000 of debt before I turn 60 in September of 2029. And I'm doing this all on one household income. As promised, I'm talking about 8 strategies to earn a side income, specifically for women in their 50s. I researched all of these before I made my choice, and I'll share that choice with you at the end of the video. But I sat down and wrote out all the pros and cons of these different strategies, and there's no denying that they all work. They just all didn't work for me. So let's start with the first option I thought about as a side hustle was a second part-time job. So this would be things like retail, grocery stores, anywhere where I could work part-time hours in the evenings and weekends. These are great. They're predictable. You have a work schedule. You start earning income immediately. There's zero startup costs. Why this didn't work for me is my evenings and weekends are for my 16-year-old daughter and her needs, which range from things like sports to school events to things that she requires. And evenings and weekends are also my recovery time from my 9 to 5 job. My daughter also has more complex medical needs than some people may be working with. She's a type 1 diabetic. I do need to be able to sometimes drop what I'm doing in order to go to her to assist her medically. With my 9 to 5, I can do that. I have that flexibility. They know what my situation is and they understand that. If I was working a part-time job in a grocery store, I can't just drop everything and leave. I mean, I would get fired, I'm sure. So that one was off the table for me. The second side hustle I looked at was gig work. So this would be things like Instacart, if you live in the US, delivery drivers, that type of thing. We don't have Shipt in Canada. I decided that delivery work wasn't going to be for me. Again, I need to make myself available for my daughter. Gig work is easier or gives you more freedom than retail work. I mean, you can make your own hours and you can choose your hours, but honestly, it's harder on this 50-plus-year-old body, and it's still hours for dollars like working a part-time second job. The third side hustle idea I contemplated was freelancing my knowledge or freelancing my professional expertise. As I indicated in other videos, I am a former financial professional with over a decade of experience. I could have taken that professional knowledge and do something like freelancing or admin work or bookkeeping. Again, I would be trading dollars for hours, although you could do it more on a project-based service, which could make it easier for some people. For me, this is too close to my current 9 to 5, and honestly, I'm exhausted after a day of working with my 9 to 5, and the last thing I want to do is do some more work there. For financial freelancing, the pay would be higher than, for example, retail work or potentially working for gig work, but I'm still trading my time for dollars. The fourth side hustle I looked at was tutoring or teaching things like English as a second language, for example. This is good for people that still want a decent hourly rate, and you can do it from your kitchen table. However, this would have to be done on evenings and weekends and in fairly specific time periods. In addition, for things like English as a second language and teaching that, you often need a degree, and I don't have a degree. So this is definitely an option for somebody, but evenings and weekends are already tight for me, so I couldn't add something else into those hours of the day. The fifth side hustle I looked at was coaching or consulting in the financial field. This is the highest value use of my financial experience. It wasn't for me because it still trades dollars for hours. And to be honest, I'm in the middle of my financial rebuild, so I don't think that I'm in a position that I can give advice around this currently. Maybe one day when I'm out of debt and I've actually come out the other side, it would be more of a potential, but right now it's not the right choice for me. The sixth side hustle was reselling and or flipping. The advantages of this is it's a low startup cost. You can learn as you go. There are definitely people that build a real business from this and do really well at it. For me, although this actually crossed my mind because I do love being creative, and things like refinishing old furniture was really appealing to me, but you need to have the space to do it, and I do not. I don't have a basement or a garage, so there was nowhere that I could do the actual refurbishing. Now, in terms of reselling, I could have bought clothing, or there's people that forage through thrift stores and buy and then resell from that. But honestly, I hate shopping. I'm not really into fashion, and so that part of it didn't appeal to me, but I think it could work for the right person. The seventh side hustle was renting out what you already have. So again, this is low startup cost. You're using something that you already own. It could be a room, it could be a vehicle, it could be a cottage, it could be a house. I mean, there's lots of things that you can rent out, but you need to have the assets to do that with. And while I do have a car and I actually do have room in the house I'm renting right now to rent out a room, I don't want people touching my things or being in my space or frankly around my daughter because, she's a teenager and teenagers can be pretty impressionable. So that one was off the table for me. So the eighth side hustle I looked at was making money online. When people bring up this subject of making money online, their thoughts go to things like drop shipping or faceless marketing channels, affiliate marketing, or get rich quick kind of schemes. And that wasn't for me at all. I don't believe in any of those things. It kind of leaves people feeling pretty skeptical. I certainly am. I'm not into a get rich quick scheme, although that would sure be nice. But I've always believed that you have to work hard to get what you want and to make money. It also leads into the hustle culture, which I don't like at all. That's not for me. I'm not into the hustle culture. The marketing bro culture, it gives make money online a bad reputation. However, there are ways to make money online that are legitimate, and there are some very, very successful people out there that are doing it and they're making money at it. without leaning into the hustle culture. And they're not teaching how to make money online with how to make money online products. They actually have legitimate businesses and they're selling courses or services or products that has contributed to their success. So I did choose the side hustle of making money online. And what I chose to do was create and sell digital products, specifically spreadsheets. I build the spreadsheets, and these tools are something that people can use again and again and can be sold over and over. So I specifically build budget spreadsheets currently, but there's no reason why I couldn't expand that into other spreadsheets down the road. There's really no cap into what I could sell using Google Sheets, and I like the idea of not having a cap on my creativity. So another reason why I liked this is that I can do this in the hours that I have during the day. Digital products is something that I can create in various hours that I have available, whether it's around maybe I've taken my daughter to softball practice or hockey practice and I have an hour to create. And so that's what I can do. I can sit there and create my spreadsheets or think up new ideas and squeeze things into the hours that I have available in my day. So I'm controlling my own hours. Somebody isn't controlling them for me. Another reason why I liked the idea of digital products is that I'm building, like I said, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. It does take time, but I'm building my own financial freedom and I'm building back my time freedom. And I'm also building my business so that one day I don't have to work a 9 to 5 and I can just be fully self employed, which is appealing to me. This is definitely a work now for payoff later. And it may be an odd choice given that my monthly budgets tend to be in the red every month. But I strongly believe that if I put in the work now, then I can reap the rewards later. And I'm building this on YouTube so that I'm showing you how my process is going. And I like to be able to do that. You know, working a part-time job in a grocery store is not something that I can share online, but I can definitely share how I'm building my online digital product business and document that. And hopefully it'll help someone else along the way. Most side income rents hours. I'm in the process of buying back hours so that I will have time freedom in the future. And I also have no cap on my potential income with creating and selling digital products. It's just the limitations of my own imagination. And that's really exciting. That's an exciting option to have. As I said, there are a lot of people that are making good money or the money that they need in these side hustles. But for me, the one that was the best choice was digital products. And I'm excited to be able to share my progress with you in terms of what I'm building and income I'm making from selling digital products. I have already created 2 spreadsheets. One is a more in-depth spreadsheet and is the one that I personally use every month for my budgeting. And then the second one is what I call a budget light. So it's taking that more complex spreadsheet and making it less complex and just more basic. Some people just prefer simpler spreadsheets and they don't want the more complex ones, and that's just fine. I'm just trying to create products that are best able to serve other solo Gen X moms that are looking to pay off some debt like I am and make some income in the process. I would love if you subscribed and continued to follow me on my journey to paying off this debt and creating more income. I currently owe just over $70,000 worth of debt, down from just over 95,000. I feel really proud of how far I've come. Since August of 2025, I still have a long ways to go. I try to put out videos, at least one or two every week. Please join me on my journey as I work to pay off debt and create more income so that I can gain my time freedom and my financial freedom. See you in the next video.